part two, this might wind up being a three-parter because of incidences that just happened. So I was in a bad spot in life, and I was down to like that last little ounce of life where you don't want to die, but you don't want the pain no more, and nobody gave a shit. Nobody. I had been betrayed by my family on enough occasions to know that I repeatedly say this because kids are not stupid. A kid knows when a parent loves a child more or when a parent doesn't love a child at all. And I was in that, and you may think, well, you're 35 years old, son. You don't need your parents' love. We all need our parents' love. Whether you are man enough to admit it or not is a whole nother ballgame. So I was exceptionally suicidal. But I've been going through stuff since I was a kid, and it's not like it was the first time that suicide has crossed my mind. I have had more than one attempt, alright? Mental illness is not a fucking joke, and neither is this. And, I had reached the end of my rope. I literally was ready to go. Without a shadow of a doubt. I went to pray with a minister that night the night before my trip. And I prayed with her, and I prayed with her, and I prayed with her. And the next day, at the, sorry. It's now the Lucky 7. But it's on Cherry Avenue. It's the Sunshine Market. I met her at the Sunshine Market. At first I thought it was like a joke, because the girl that introduced me to her, I didn't have any disdain for that girl, but, I didn't trust people. Yeah, I still don't trust people. And I definitely don't trust people with my heart anymore, ever again. But when the girl introduced me to the girl, it was kind of comical. And we got to talking, and I said, do you have a boyfriend? And she said, no. I said, do you have a lover? And she said, no. I said, do you have any children? And she said, no. I said, okay, we can talk then. Because, I'm not the type of guy who wants to wreck somebody else's life. If you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever, and you're a hot chick, I ain't down with breaking that shit up. Because I've also been in relationships where that has happened. And the hardest part of that is, again, keeping my hands to myself. I've kicked a few people off my spot over a chick or two. And that chick never wanted me to begin with. And that specific chick, well, let's just say she might have had a baby by the guy. But I know he may still have that scar on his chin from missing my 2 front steps at my dad's house. And I hope that they're happy wherever they are. But you don't do that. If somebody's got somebody, break up before you go looking for somebody else. Like, come clean break, And, so, the night before I met her, I was praying to God with the preacher. And I said, if God don't send me nobody to love, that's it. And I'm 35, about to turn 36. I was ready to settle down. I was ready to do everything, man. And only things that was stopping me was that I didn't have a dependable job. That was it. Still don't have a dependable job. So that's about the one thing in 10 years that hasn't changed. I do work, I just don't have a career, so I'm going back to school. But that's neither here or there. My plan was, before I met the girl, was to go to Canada. As a martial artist, I'm a real good fighter. If you've seen any of my videos on Kung Fu Havoc #1, or anything I put up on Kung Fu Havoc #2, I am not the guy you want to mess with just because I'm 5'3" and you think that I'm going to be an easy win. It's not going to work out that way. My favorite phrase is David killed Goliath with one blow. So that should give you a little hint on don't underestimate someone because of their size. So my plan was to go to Canada, get to fighting with the biggest, baddest sumbitch up there that I could find in a bar, strip club, bar, whatever. Because I don't do bars, I do strip clubs. So the plan was if I go to a bar, I can get to fighting with a big bad Canadian. He can kill me, claim self-defense. They take my body home, and whatever happens after that happens. God works in mysterious ways. So that day that we were going to go to Canada, the next day, the day I met her was the day before. And so we met, we hung out for a while, we ate ice cream, flavored vanilla. And I think for me it was love at first sight. She's a very beautiful Korean girl. I fell in love with her from the second we started talking. Once I found out that she didn't have anybody, the door was open. And I didn't walk through that son bitch. I dove through that son bitch. So every day in Canada, I called her and called her and called her, and she called me and called me, and it was looking good, man. It was looking great. And so when we got back together, when I came home from Canada, because believe me, had I not met her, I wasn't coming home from Canada outside of a body bag, because my life was just that bad. She gave me 2 great years. 2 great years. But at 35, you're old enough to know what you want. And she was like 9 years younger. She was just about to turn 28. And I was just about to turn 36. So I knew what I wanted. But communication is everything. And if you don't know what you want, then you probably shouldn't get involved with someone who knows what they want. And I told her from jump, I'm in it for the long haul. I want to be with you for the rest of my life. Like I said, sometimes love it's not always enough. Sometimes it's a hard pressed thing. Like I told her, I've been in one-sided relationships before. This didn't seem like a one-sided relationship within the 2 years we were together until the end. So first off, to the people who made Twilight, you can have the finger, yes, the middle, because that was the downfall of our relationship. The second Twilight, or the third Twilight, whichever one it was, in 2010 that came out, it pretty much ruined our relationship. And I'm not the only one who said that. Other people in that era have lost their girlfriends in the same year. So let me tell you how the breakup came, and then I'm gonna go into the more detail on why this will never happen again. So we were fine. We never really had any problems. She smacked me twice. I've never raised my hand or my voice at her. And she's done the opposite. She's slapped me at least twice. She's yelled at me more times than I can count on both my hands and toes. And I just took it because I love her. Sometimes you just deal with shit. When you love somebody, you're willing to put up with everything that they can throw at you and ask for more, which is basically what I did. I was a big time yes man, but I loved this girl. Every day I woke up beside her, I fell in love with her all over again. All over again. Heart, mind, body, soul, you name it, I fell in love with her. I could not picture myself without her in my life. So as you know, for the last 9 years, it has not been a good ride for me. Period. I have attempted to date others. It's just not even worth it anymore. But I really do still love the girl, but I can't make her love me. And then after going to court for 2 text messages and 2 love songs, I've decided to love her from afar. Me and the judge had a good talk, and the judge said, you didn't threaten her. I read your text messages. I don't know if you can sing or anything, but I read your text messages. And I can't arrest you for harassment because you didn't threaten her, but I can hold this on to you until the day you die. Which is another reason why it's just not worth it. And I will tell you no lie, I still love her to this day. I'm still in love with her to this day. But I have sworn off love for her that very reason, because I'm never going to let another woman put me through this shit. As long as I'm breathing, it's just not worth it, man. I loved her with every, I loved her with every fiber of my being. I still do, but, it's not going to happen. I'm over it. Well, let me rephrase it. I'm not so much over it as I have moved forward. I haven't really moved on, but I have moved forward to the point where I don't make up characters on Mass Effect with the name Jamie, spelled Jamy or Jami, and stuff like that. And I even made her a wrestling character for my PlayStation 3, for WWE, all kinds of stuff, and I had it looking just like her. So that should tell you, it wasn't so much as most people would say that was probably an obsession. No, I made it so that we could play together, and I could never get her to play video games, which is kind of hurt my feelings because I put a lot of work into making her character. And we couldn't do anything, and most of the things, whenever she wanted to do something, I would do it, just because I wanted to be with her. Uh, she wanted to buy a dog, and I didn't have money to buy a dog. So I bought her 2 plastic dogs. That's like, well, I can't afford to buy you a real dog, but I bought you a dog. For her 2 birthdays that we spent together, she wanted something. I seen it at the store. When she went to work, I went to the store and I bought it. Now, I didn't have the money to spend on buying it, but when you love somebody, you make sacrifices. And that's what I did. Whatever I needed to do, I did, and I got that little stuffed pig for her, and it was a fun time. She enjoyed it. She probably burnt the some bitch now, but it was rough. The breakup was worse on me than it was on her, because I went to work. Right after the movie, after we seen Twilight, we went to our friend Thayer's house. Hi there. And everything seemed fine that night. We even made out that night and all kinds of other stuff. And I had these rings. They're not very good rings because I'm poor. But it's supposed to be the thought that counts. The other ring was the wrong size, which is why I got this ring. We're not going to go any further with that, so you guys don't see me break down and cry. So, okay, got the rings, and I was going to get on my knees and beg for a hand in marriage. I had talked to her father. He was totally against it, so, that could be a factor in it, but, I knew what I wanted. The only thing I really needed was a dependable job. I could take care of her. It wasn't a problem. I just needed a dependable job. And in Charlottesville, it's kind of hard to get a dependable job when no one wants to give you a job. Even when you don't have a criminal record, even when you can pass a drug test, even when you can do all these amazing things, and nobody will hire a 5'3" bodyguard. So, that being said, I was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, but I never seen what was about to happen. So I went to work, and before I went to work, she said, when you get off from work, can you come back up here so we can have a talk? I never knew that I was about to get the worst day of my life, I went to work, I'm all excited because I got the rings. All I got to do is go home and get them. But she wanted to talk. She's a little bit more important than some damn cheap tin metal with a rock in it. Oh, sorry. So, instead of going home to get the rings, because I was going to break down, we were like right on our 2nd year anniversary. We were like 1 week away. And I was going to get on my knees on the day we met and ask her to marry me. And that shit didn't happen. I have to laugh about it to keep from crying. So I got home, and she asked me if I can help clean up her room and everything, because I cleaned up her room religiously, especially whenever she went to go to her parents' house for the weekend, and I didn't want to go interfere because I was raised right. If you're going to go stay at somebody's house and that's your girlfriend, you probably shouldn't sleep in the same room, especially if you don't know if her parents are going to be there. You do the right thing. And that's why I didn't go. So she'd go away. I go to her room because she rented a room. And it's also one of my love songs. I go and clean up her room. I mean, I spick and span that shit. To look at my room, you wouldn't believe how well I cleaned her room. And so I cleaned her room from stem to stern, didn't throw anything away. I had 2 bags, This is your go-through bag, this is your trash bag. And this 3rd bag is what you put in that you know for sure you're going to throw away. And you go through these 2 bags, what I assume is trash and what I assume is not, you can divide it up and find out what you're going to keep and what you're not. And I did that, I love the girl with all my heart and soul, and it was the most important thing to me that she was happy. I would ask if I could bring my PlayStation over. I would bring my PlayStation over because she wanted me over there, but she didn't want to do anything. So I was like, well, I'm coming over. Can I bring my PlayStation? She said, yeah, sure. So I bring my PlayStation over. Lo and behold, her TV couldn't support the PlayStation, so I just watched whatever she watched, and we had a lot of good times. We rarely had any bad times from my point of view. Since I'm not legally allowed to talk to her, I don't know how she took it. So I cleaned up her room, and I'm washing the dishes, And she goes, "You can't come see me anymore." And I mean, at first, I heard something, but I wasn't sure. It wasn't really registering. I was like, "The fuck she just said?" Because I'm steadily washing dishes. I mean, I got the dishes almost completely done. And I'm washing them and I'm rinsing them and I'm wiping them off. And she said it again. I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "You can't come see me anymore." And I will be honest, I almost like dropped the last dish in my hand into the sink. And I was like, "Say that one more time." I rinsed it off and dried it off, put it down, and then I got serious. I stopped doing what I was doing because when the woman talks to you, your ass should be paying attention and hear what the hell she says and also listen. So I'm like, "What did you say?" And the third time I got it, clear as day. "You can't come see me anymore." And I'm sitting there and tears start streaming down my face almost immediately. And I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Because we had a good night the night before. Now, granted, the night we went to go see Twilight, that was awesome. She wanted to see it. I didn't want to see it. I enjoyed the stupid freaking movie, but I only went to see it because I love her. I didn't want to see that shit. I didn't read none of the books. I didn't know nothing about no damn shimmering vampire. In my day, vampires, they had fangs, they didn't shine, and when the sun hit them, they exploded. But for all intents and purposes, it was a love story about some white broad and some vampire dude and some Native American dude who turned into a wolf. So as far as I knew, she likes it. Let's go. And we seen the first one. And so, I only went to it because I love her. Our first date, I know this is not here or there, but our first date we went to go see Batman with Christian Bale. And I paid for the movie and the popcorn, which she didn't eat. I had to eat a whole tub of popcorn by myself, and then we went to the Virginia Inn. I had like $8 to my name, right? So when she went to the bathroom, I told manager, "Hey, look, dude, I don't have money right now. I have $8 to my name." I didn't know how to use an ATM card. Okay, I had one. I just didn't know how to use the damn thing because I usually just pay for everything in cash. When I went to the bank, I didn't use the ATM card. Somebody had to teach me how to use it. Okay, so I would just go in, write down what I need on a piece of paper, give it to them, give them my ID, they give me the money, I go the fuck out. It's my money. So I didn't think that I would have needed like $100 on our first date. But apparently, movies was like 20 something a piece, popcorn was like $10. I bought a soda. I bought a soda because we were just getting to know each other. And I don't drink behind people. So I don't even drink behind my parents. I never have. I never will. So then I'd have to be desperate and die. Now after we got into a relationship, I did drink behind her. But, just because I wouldn't drink behind anybody else, I would drink behind her. But, as time went on, when we got to this point where she hit me with relationships are overrated and you can't come see me anymore and you need to leave right now. My whole head just like blew up. Because I was like, but last night we had such a good time. We really had a good time. And that was like sex stuff. But I'm trying to marry the girl. All I needed was one more week. And then I was going to get on my knees, pop that ring I just showed, and beg for a hand in marriage. Granted, I didn't deserve it. Granted, yes, she could do better. I don't know if she's doing better now. But when you love somebody, you want them to be happy. And, you do the best you can. But both of y'all have to feel the same way. Both of y'all have to want to be in the relationship. I really wanted to be in the relationship. Sorry, checking the time. So I'm trying not to cry right now. I was in it to win it. Yeah, all the way in it to win it. She was like truly my last shot at love because I straight told God, the next girl you give me is gonna be the girl I'm gonna marry, or you're not gonna send me a girl. And I would have rather him not send me a girl and let me die than send me a girl who only wanted a 2-year thing and just wasn't honest with me. And that's why, I've been through a lot. And so when I had prayed to God, and He gave me this beautiful girl, I mean, she was everything I ever wanted. I mean, she was a very beautiful Korean girl. I don't know what she looks like now, so from the image in my head, she'll always be beautiful to me, even if she's not beautiful to anyone else. And I fell head over heels in love, heart, body, soul, all of it. And there was nothing I wouldn't do for her. To this day, if she ever needs me, that door's still open. And I don't give a damn who doesn't like it. I'm 45 now, so accept it or die. But this started the downward spiral. And so I fought for her. For like a year, I fought for her. No, not even a year. I fought for her for 3 months first. I mean, I went out my way for 3 months trying to win her back. And then I reached, fuck it. No matter what I do, I couldn't win. So I joined the army. Didn't think that I was going to come back from here. Wrote her all kinds of love letters, never sent them. Sent some to her friends. Sent some to my family, mostly my father. Never made a phone call unless I was ordered to make a phone call. Because he was like, you need to call your family. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. Either you're going to call your family or we're going to call them and hold you down and make you talk. And that's pretty much how it was. So I was like, all right, well, I don't need to be embarrassed by all these young people. So I called my mom, I think maybe 3 out of the 5 months that I was in boot camp. I never called my father. I just sent him letters. I wrote the girl maybe 20 letters. You know, I kept them all. I never sent them to her. And so when I got back home, I had a moment of weakness. Her birthday showed up. And I texted her on her birthday. 2 text messages, 2 love songs. And a few months after that, I was standing in court in front of the judge explaining what I just explained. Now, I didn't know that no contact meant no text. It just started meant no phone calls. You know, so I didn't call her. I texted her. I figured I couldn't get in trouble with that. And when I sung to her on the answering machine, you know, I sung my unconditional love song that I wrote and something else that I wrote. And I didn't think for a New York minute that I'd be standing in front of a judge. Yeah, that was like the worst thing. I've never broken the law outside of a speeding ticket. And now I'm getting threatened to go to jail for harassment. It's like, I'm not harassing anybody, because my definition of harassment was you showing up everywhere. Because I've been stalked before. Not by her, but by another girl back in high school who was a friend with benefit, who was cheating on her boyfriend with me. So that's another reason, you know, I don't like doing that kind of thing. And so, you know, it was that in itself, those lessons is what taught me that when I was with her, you know, I'm not going to stalk her. I'm not going to show up at her house every damn time she turns around, because that's totally the definition of stalking. But I sent 2 love songs and 2 text messages, had no idea that shit was considered harassment. So I don't text people now for that reason, if I can help it. It has to be a damn emergency for me to text you, except for like Facebook Messenger and shit like that. So, that being said, we're gonna have to make a 3rd video, maybe even a 4th video. But that being said, because I gotta go to the street and get these kids off the bus. That being said, after I explained to the judge everything, he's like, well, if you never raised your voice, if you never put your hand at her in any harmful manner, why did y'all break up, son? I said, well, if she would have showed up, you would have had to ask her for me. Because I never knew why we broke up. I didn't want us to end. I wanted to marry her. I wanted her to be the mother of my children. I wanted to spend every waking moment with her because I couldn't breathe without her. So we'll pick it up from there when I come back. Thank you guys.